What's up, yo? How y'all doing, man? It's your boy, Gronk, Chalo Manchester. Manchester is red. Niaze, niaze. Today, guys, I say this is your mental health warrior. You know, I'm here to talk about things you can do to improve the life, the constant life, and the battles you're going through. All right. So again, disclaimer: speaking on recovery, which is what I am. I live in recovery. I've lived the experience. You know, this is my story. This is story yako. Kila mtu, everybody has their own story. Everybody out there has their own story, and your story, your voice is powerful. Your story is very powerful, alright? So this is my story, and these are the kind of things that I do. So I want to tell you, like, you know, again, every day you wake up is an existence. So when you exist in the morning, between morning when you wake up to the time that you're going to sleep. So what kind of things, thoughts, everything that goes in between here and here, like in between, you know. So for me right now, this is the most special moment for me, is because this is the time I get to reflect, you know. So strap in, Maluko, thank you for listening to me. I don't know if you just found me for your FYP page, you know. Thank you so much for finding me. So if you're wondering what I'm doing right now, I was journaling. So a lot of people be asking me, how do you do things and stuff like that, you know. So the reason I started this platform, a little bit story, is because I did a lot of journaling. Like, you know, I love reading, you know, I love journaling, writing all my thoughts down. So today I want to show you, like, these are some of the thoughts that I have, you know. So I was going through my old notes, by the way. Sorry, yo, that's too loud. So my apologies. But anyways, find your voice, right? But a lot of people be like, find my voice. But how does that voice start? So for me today, I want to talk to you about self-talk. When you wake up in the morning, this is how I self-talk myself, my jama. Like, this is how I write my thoughts, my notes, everything. Like, you know, I don't know if there's anybody out there who just says, me, I have to write everything down, right? So today I went through my own notes and I came to find that, you know, that's where I got my word of the day. So for those who are just joining us, you know, the special segment that I love doing this is where I do what I do, okay? I love this segment when we come to word of the day. My word for the day is, when I woke up today, I thought about self-talk. And if you're wondering, some of you are wondering what I'm talking about. So my word of the day is self-talk. So this is what or how I speak to myself in my own subconscious that fills my mind, and that dictates what I create as reality out there. So if I want to have a good reality, achieve those goals, from the small tasks I was talking about in my other videos to getting to where I want to be, it's a process, but the process starts from how I talk to myself. So I went online today and I saw this girl that she posted, you know, I follow her, and she posted something about, like, you know, how you talk about yourself really matters, and that's how people carry you. So if you want people to carry you with respect and boundaries, and when I speak boundaries, it's healthy boundaries, it goes back to how you talk to yourself, your self-lens. Again, you're observing yourself from the inside, looking outside, right? So that's where the most critical thinking concept comes in. So how I do it personally, like, you know, again, subconsciously, I do a lot of positive affirmations. You know, a lot of people say manifest. For me, I'm like, I don't really like the word manifest, because manifest can come with the good and the bad. So me, I do positive affirmations. You know, I talk to myself about my self-image. So when I'm talking about self-image, is like somebody comes, for example, and tells me, oh man, like, I don't care, this and that, and they tell me the wrong thing and the negative things that they have. I talk to myself and I'm like, yo, they must have seen something good in me. That's why they're telling me this. So I'm not telling you this to go and start fighting over there. Now, I'm encouraging coming together as a community, especially the Kenyan diaspora. You're out there, we need to come together. So don't look at your people and your neighbors and stuff and start hating on something, But if somebody also for them to be able to have that process of change, like I did, I'm still a work in progress. Disclaimer, I'm a work in progress. I'm not better than you. I am not better than you. However, I can relate with you. So how I think about the process of change, like I have to instill a new beliefs when I self-talk myself. When I'm self-talking myself, I have to have new values, new traditions, new habits, new patterns, like when I do that, I substitute the old negative. Let that soak in. I substitute the old negative behaviors, right? And self-talk, and bring in new values, new beliefs, which are healthy and positive. So a little bit story about me. If you don't know, I've struggled with alcohol back in the day. I used to do all that stuff. So if you're out there struggling, so that's how I can relate with you. So I used to be stuck in a rooted ground because I never wanted to change those concept mindset. Instead of thinking in a more positive, health way, talking to myself in a more positive way, that would determine my success. I was always looking at the worst things in me, like the labels, the stigmas. I was looking at stuff like that, and I was just like, man, like I didn't even know how to relate with people because I would be out there and about, and if somebody said something that hurt me or said something, I would let that sink in, and I would believe that's who I am. But the more gradually I'm making these steps, in the process of recovery and transformation, I've learned how to realize how to create healthy boundaries, create positive, healthy thoughts in my, in my mind, and that has led me to feeling unstuck, going to like greener pastures, if that's the word, in quotes. Again, disclaimer, this is my lived experience, so I'm just trying to relate here, I'm just reflecting, all right? So how the self-talk for me starts, positively, it's I have to make a statement of fact. Like today I woke up, I said, hey, I can do it. Today is a good day. I'm young, I'm handsome, I'm beautiful, I'm whatever, I got 2 feet, I got 2 ears, I got, I can run, I can sit down, I can walk, I can smile at people, that's, by the way, that's the smallest thing you can do. Smile at somebody. You don't know what they're struggling or what they're going through. They must just maybe have lost somebody, or maybe they're going through work loss. You never know. Grief, stigma, whatever. Don't just see somebody on the street and be like, oh, that's a homeless guy, or that person is crazy. No. You have to substitute those words when you're doing your self-talk. So first statement of facts, right? That you bring a positive thought, and that is associated and evaluated in your subconsciousness, and then from that it sparks some fire. It sparks that fire inside you, and that's where, like, God for me, my higher power, whatever you want to call God, for me, I believe in God, that if it wasn't for Him, His inner fire, it comes from within going outside. So God gives you the higher power to come from the inside going outside, and that's where, for me, the Holy Spirit shapes my personalities. It shapes my positive belief. It shapes my ego. A lot of people see me on the street, and I say hi a lot to a lot of people. But everybody be telling me, oh, Georgie, you got so much ego, They be talking about, because I'm a Taurus, by the way. Like, oh, you have ego. Nah, man, I don't have ego. It's just that I've come, like that lady was saying, I've come to realize that, making positive, healthy boundaries with people has really actually helped me a lot to understand where I'm fitted. I want to sit on a plate, on a table with people. We are sharing the plate, but we are elevating, we are motivating. by also understanding that we come from somewhere and we have had barriers and struggles to be where we are. So I hope that kind of resonates with what point I'm throwing out here. So again, those self-talks, it shapes my behaviors. Do I want to have negative behaviors, or do I have negative patterns? Do I want to have cravings? Do I want triggers? So, if I speak to myself positively and with optimism rather than pessimism, I am making sure that I'm pointing myself towards success, right? Also, those patterns, I have to break those pattern schemas, so that way I may grow or not. So in short, that is called neuroplasticity. And that builds up to how people perceive you, people's opinions, people's experiences and perspectives is different based on environments or how they grew up or what they associate with. All that I put it in category perception. So truth to you is your reality, your perception, all that is in the same class. If you want people to see you in a good way, if you want to be out there helping people, leading movements, being the leader that others follow, you also got to create leaders. Learn to learn from other leaders, Learn to learn from kids, learn to learn from young people, learn to learn from old people. Respect culture, respect the roots, identity, respect the law, respect order and stuff like that, So that's what I can tell you. So I like this part too on my philosophical note. My philosophy today, let me see if I have a philosophy. Philosophically speaking, where do you think the world would be if people did not make attempts to try and understand the human mind? How would we see truth? How would we dig deeper? So on my philosophical segment, I would like to tell you, ask questions, man. Don't be afraid when you're doing anything. Before you do anything, when you wake up, ask questions. What am I doing? Why am I doing it? How am I doing it? When am I doing it? Stories like that. Stories. Questions like that really will help you do a lot of personal reflection. Okay, so that has allowed you. It leads you to a better place. Your self-talk will lead you to a better place whereby others don't have to tear your self-image, your emotions, your background, your communications, and all that stuff. So, quote of the day. This quote, when I was locked up, when I had heartbreaks from love, when I was a new immigrant in a new country, when I didn't know anything, I was lost. Anytime I'm lost, anytime I'm going through a lot, I think about winter time. Winter time is the most coldest time, and in those times a lot of people live in solitude. So for me, I have learned being in solitude is actually sometimes good. It's not being alone, is not being lonely. It's just that you have chosen to be in solitude to better yourself for success. So quote of the day before I end this segment is, in the depth of winter, I found myself an invisible summer. In the depth of winter, go find an invisible summer. So now, I had to take some water because of that. But anyways, that was me. This was reflection hour. I don't know if I call that. But as you can see, I'm still, a work in progress. I want to leave you with don't give up. If you think today you didn't make it, there's somebody else out there struggling too. So they're trying to be where you are. So those small wins you did today, that is the best thing you could have done today. And just go relax, do some self-care. For me, self-care is listening to Proto J. Are you sure this is your man, your boy? Gronkjaer 27. Keep inspiring.